Hello, everyone. Hopefully, everyone can see and hear me okay. Everything is working just fine. Hello, and welcome to tonight's live stream. Tonight, we are doing question time as we do every Wednesday, where you can bring along your questions regarding game development, Unreal Engine 4, whatever it may be. You can bring it along, and we'll try our best to answer them tonight for you. So, thank you for everyone joining me live. Today is the 7th of October. And I can see people in chat over here. We've got TC Games, hello. Indecision Game Studio, hello. Angus, and Defunded Scientist. The Fuming Kid over on Twitch, hello. Hello, Matek, hello, Zimmy Jim, hello, everyone else watching live, either on YouTube or Twitch. Hello to you all. So, a few little housekeeping things as usual. So, we've got, if you are unaware, private tuition sessions are still available for the month of November. October is fully booked. But if you want to get in for November sessions, get in quick as they do run out fast. We're about half full, I think, for November. So get in there quick if you want a private session. If you want more details, head over to my website, ryanlady.com, and go to the blog to find more information and details. And don't forget, we also got my first ever Games Jam happening on the 24th of October. For the 1 week, you'll be, well, less than a week, but half a week, you'll be working on a project towards a theme, which will be announced live on the 24th. So join me live to catch the theme and sign up to the Games Jam over on itch.io/jam/RyanLadyJam. So, well, there will be winners and runner-up, so prizes are available for submissions. So please join in. We've about 60 sign-ups so far, so keep considering it. I've designed it so it's ideal for beginners and for more experienced users as well. All are welcome. More information on that, obviously, on the night of the launch. And that coincides with our... oh, where's my other graphics? Oh. My graphics are gone. No. Oh, well. So that coincides with my birthday week for the channel. So the channel will be 3 years old. So on that week, not only do we have a Games Jam going on, but we also have... we have a birthday week, so we not only do the Games Jam, but every single day there'll be a new session released, a new tutorial released, special... secret videos coming out, to be a little surprise for everyone. For Patrons as well, more surprises for them. So thank you for everyone who has been supporting me, and I look forward to sharing more details with you during that week. And that is a week beginning the 24th, round up to the 30th. Yeah, excellent. And finally, we've also got our goal on Patreon of 500 patrons. So if we get to 500 patrons, I'll do a real-time strategy series showing you how to create a real-time strategy game. So I think we're about 22 people away from the 500. So if you want to support me, head over to patreon.com/RyanLady. And if we hit that magic number, I'll do an RTS series for you all. And that is all. So if this is your first time for question time, welcome, and hopefully you enjoy it and get some answers for yourself. What it is you just put in chat whatever it is you want answered, and if I catch it, we'll try and answer it as best we can. If I don't catch it straight away, please don't fret or take any negative thoughts about it or anything like that, because it's just so many come up. So just keep posting it into the chat again and again until I see it. We go for about an hour, so we'll see how many I can get through in this 1 hour. So I've just got Unreal loading up, so I'm going to see if I can answer any of these questions whilst we're waiting for Unreal to load up. Okay, so I'm just going for the most recent ones here. So Zimmy Jim, some of my favourite trees have overlapping UVs. How do I fix that? Sadly, you can only really fix UVs in the 3D modeling software. So if you want to fix overlapping UVs, you need to export it out as FBX and load it up in something like Blender and refix the UV maps in there. It'd be interesting to see what you mean by favourite trees. I guess these are trees from the asset store. If they are trees from the asset store, that shouldn't be a thing. You shouldn't have that issue. But if you do have that issue, just let me know and show me some screenshots, and I maybe can help you out. I know you you're a long-time supporter, so you have my details. Hey Brett, Brett Kenny. Door locks. Hi Ryan, I tried making the maze game, but the door that opens with the key, that didn't work. Unfortunately, I don't know where I can take that one. Dorks. If it didn't, all I can suggest is re-watch the videos, double check things over, make sure you didn't miss any tick boxes or things like that. And yeah. If it doesn't open with the key, I can only imagine that you are. I don't know. It could be a number of things. So double check that you've got the right values in there, and so forth. Without more information, it's going to be hard to debug that one for you, I'm afraid. Hi, David Lowe over on Twitch. Hello, Native Black. And we're in Unreal now, so we'll switch over. Hello, everyone. Okay, so questions are coming in. Xeno Dragon. For the class default values, how can I remove some of these default values because they are conflicting? Structure was inherited, and these default values get in the way. I just need, I just needed a function. For class default values, how can I remove some of these default values? So, sounds that you want to remove. When it loads up. Very slow. There we go. So these default values, I don't think you can edit them without going into the C++ code. If you want to do that, you can go into parent class up here and click on the parent here. Unfortunately, if you do start removing stuff out of it, it will break a lot of other stuff to it because these are all tied up with other functions and other functionality inside the actor. I would suggest renaming some the ones that you're trying to inherit. I'm not too sure what your setup is, what you're trying to inherit, what you're trying to do with it. Not entirely sure. If you can give me more information, that'd be ideal. Hi Brett, thank you for the donation. Thank you so much. You have a glitch between blend space between idle and walk. And that's all I had for character space 4. Okay. What's the glitch, Brett? When you press W to go from idle to walk, it glitches right to walk even with interp. Okay. I'm assuming you're using like move forward like this, and I'm guessing you're using a keyboard. Yeah. If that is the case, the reason why it goes straight to that is because it's an input access event, and that basically outputs either a 0 or 1. So you're either pushing the key or not pushing the key. So when you push W to go forwards, it's going to apply the maximum walk speed. It's not like a stick where you can just eke it forward. What you're looking for is acceleration. And in that case, you've got two options. You can either use a lerp on this access value here, like so, and interp this. Are you comfortable with f-interps? And that'll accelerate. There may be even acceleration code in here that you can use. I don't typically use acceleration, but no, you just get can't acceleration. So you can lerp this a bit. So go f-interp 2. And we'll say that's the target. The current is going to be current. Oh, hello. Acceleration. Can't spell for toffee today, but never mind. That you get the gist. So float, and we'll set that up here. And f-interps work on the input action events because they are technically always running. They're like ticks. So it goes in there. Current will be the current acceleration. So drag that in there. Delta time, we get delta world seconds. And then you got the speed. So interp speed. So we'll do a speed of, again, I'll always forget if a low number is fast or slow. We'll try a low number first and do 1. And that will then feed into the scale value there. So rather than going full speed whack into it with keyboard, you get acceleration on it. There you go. So I'm not going full speed straight away. It slows down as well. I'm not touching the keyboard and it slows down. So hands up, moves. Okay. So that's how you can do acceleration with a keyboard. Because keyboards are analog, not analog, they're digital inputs, so they're always going to be either 0 or 1. And you can get rid of that dead space as well, because as you notice, if I push forward and let go, even if it's moving just a tiny bit, it plays animation. So with that, we can mess about with the speed of the animation matching that F interp, or we can also clamp this as well, all round it, based on what this acceleration is. So at the end here, we can go get move forwards. That gets you that. This returns this basically this axis value, and here we can do a check on this, and we do we'll do if equal to 0. No, not that. Sorry, not that. We need this current acceleration. Get current acceleration, and if this is less than or equal to 0.1, sure, and this is equal to 0. So basically, if I'm not touching the key, and acceleration is, we'll do abs on this as well. Absolute acceleration, so it works in reverse as well. Absolute knocks off the sign on it, so if it's -5, it becomes 5. So these both need to be true. Put that into a branch. And then we can set current acceleration to 0. Okay, so that should cap it. So if I let go, it should stop when it gets 0.1 like that. So you get less of a drift, and you can focus on that drift a little bit as well, just by changing this value here, 0.1. Let's say 0.5 for example. So now we'll see a more sudden stop. So forward, let go, stop. Okay, and that's how we can do acceleration with a keyboard. Hopefully that helps you out, Brett. And that should fix the blend space, because the blend space will take the acceleration into account and give you the correct speed and do that blend space for you. So it's only a problem with keyboards because they're digital inputs. If you're using a controller, you shouldn't notice that problem, because you can just tweak the controller stick the way you want it. Let's look at this before I read any more. So Xenodragon, if you're using my inventory series and you're doing weighted loot tables, a weighted loot table shouldn't be an inventory. The weighted loot table should be part of an inventory component, or on the actor itself. It wouldn't be inherited from the inventory component. It's not an inventory. It's like it's just data about what that person could drop, not what they're currently holding. And if that is what you're currently holding, it should be just on the inventory component. Just put it on the inventory component, and you just check if it's empty. Hello, Timur. Hello, James, Jocelyn. Hi, Ryan. In a game called Yonder, if your character falls down a cliff, he pulls out an umbrella and floats down. I figured I need to measure vertical velocity, spawn the umbrella to a character's skeletal in a hand node, and reduce velocity. Any advice would be welcome, though. And yeah, you pretty much got it. You can get vertical velocity by just show people that if you don't know how to get vertical velocity. So you get velocity, and that gets you a vector. If you were to split that, your z value is your vertical one. So if this reaches a certain whatever, in fact, let's do it. Let's do it. So let's put this on a tick. It could be constantly doing this. So on tick, we'll get vertical velocity, and we'll see if that is greater than. Now I'm not too sure what number this would need to be, but we can do a check on that in a second. We'll do greater than. Actually, let's do a print string first of all to measure how far we actually want to be before we slow down. So put that in there and just play that. We should get a printout. Let's also raise one of these up. Okay. So 0, 0, 0, 0, and if I'm falling, so let's do minus 800. Okay. So when I reach minus 800 here, so it goes less than minus 800, not greater than. Less than, because it's negative number. So if it's less than negative 800, we'll get rid of that print string now. So if it's less than negative 800, we'll get the cat movement component and set gravity scale to 0.5. Set 0.5, and when we landed, event on landed, we get this again and set that to 1. So now, when I'm falling, I should slow down. When I land, I should be back to normal. Or not. I've got a feeling because I'm already moving with sort of velocity, we need to. Okay, so when we do this, we'll set velocity. I think you can't do it to stop all movement, don't you? Set velocity. I think it might be stop all movement. There you go. Whoosh. So yeah, you do that and match it with an animation. The umbrella come out. I'd make it just an animation with the umbrella anyway on it. Rather than trying to attach an umbrella to it, just make the umbrella part of the character, and you can just hide that bone when you don't want to use it. And when I whip it out, they just animate going down. Okay, I'm going to go down to the bottom of the list here and see who's the latest people are asking questions. Hi, Fish Tank. Hi, TC Games. That's good. Well done. Flashbolt, do you have any plans to make a hover vehicle physics-based pawn move blueprint? No plans at the moment. No idea when I would ever get around to doing something like that either. So the list of things to make is as long as my arm and then beyond. So no ETA or anything extra like that, I'm afraid. It's quite specific. Olgolcan. Hello Ryan, what's the best way to sort an array of structure which is value of a map? I have a structure that holds data of players, and inside the game I hold them in a map. How should I sort it? What's the best way to sort an array of structures which is a value of a map? I have a structure that holds data of players inside the game. How would I sort it? I'm confused there, Oglucan, or what part you want to sort. You want to sort an array of structure. Sort it by what? I'm afraid. Do you want to sort like what alphabetical size? You let me know how you want to sort that. Why you want to sort it? First of all, tell me why you want to sort it, and then we can go from there and figure out a good solution for that. Rovler, I have an issue in UE425. I cannot change the escapability quality in my main menu. Escapability. You want to sort them by highest point. Okay. Okay. Oh, right, highest point scoreboard. Okay. Right. So you got a data structure array with player names and their scores, correct? And you want to organize them in the order that they are in. Okay. Good one. Let's do that. So let's make that very scalability quality in your main menu. I don't know. I haven't tried changing this. You mean? I dare not change it too much because it might crash. I don't want to crash it. But you're having trouble with this menu? Rovler. Alright, let's go back to the player character. And let's do a sorting method here. So imagine this is like on the game mode or whatever, but for now, put on here. Player scores, we'll call it. And this is going to be a string for the player's name, I guess, mapped to an integer for their score. Okay, so let's add some dummy values in here. So let's go Ogucan or Ogucan. You get 20 points, and Rovler, you can get 15 points. Me, I can get 10 points. I'm just going to look at the names. James Jocelyn, you could be on here too. James, you can have 25 points. Why not? Let's fix the naming there. Okay, we'll go from there. Okay, so we've got a list of data there. We can drag this out, and I don't believe it has any sort of sorting method already built into it, but double check in case. I don't remember it having anything like that. Nope. Okay, cool. So we're going to make a function that handles this and sorts it in ascending order based on score. So highest score at the top, bottom score at the bottom. I see what you do. Okay, so essentially, it's rather than me going ahead and making a structure, essentially it's the same thing. You just have the extra step of breaking the structure to get access to the points. What is your key for your player scores, Ogucan, may I ask? Is it, if it's not the names, what is it? As in the player name, yeah? Okay. So yeah, so your value is a structure, that's fine. You just break that structure to get hold of the points, because that's what you want to sort by. So rather than going through that malarkey, we're just going to use points, but that's your only extra step. So with this, we need to get the keys. So you get a list of all the keys, so all the players' names, okay? And or hang on, let me double check. Yeah, so you get all the keys, and you have to do a for each loop to go through each one. So the bit that you'll have different is on the array element, yours will be a structure, in which case you can either split it or break it to get access to your array element won't be a structure. What you do is find first, sorry, my bad. Find in player scores. This will be a structure. You break or split this to get access to the points. So that's the bit I haven't done. So, but essentially, you'll get an integer out of it. Okay, so to sort this out, what would be a best way of doing a sorting algorithm in Blueprints? Have we got any sorting functions already in here? Let's have a look. Sort. No, okay. Okay, so we've got a number. Let's make this a real function actually. So we will be using we don't need that. Sorry. We'll be using local variables to handle this. So we've got the function, get the keys, for each loop for the keys to get access to all the values. And for each of these values, we are going to check against a local variable. So here, local variable. We call this one sorted score list, I guess. And this will be an array of strings because you're storing the names in the correct order. Okay. Yeah, C++ would work better for this, James. But let's see if we can do it in here. So we've got a sorted score list that will contain the names of the characters or players rather, and then we would take. Or would it be best? Hang on, let me think. Yeah, James, I'll be impressed if I can do this with Blueprints as well. It may be a bit unwieldy, this, but we'll have a look. Okay, so we'll do a simple sorting algorithm. Okay, so for this, you get the first element of the array. Okay, and then you check in this, and you check in this value, and then you want to check against every other value in this array. So let's get that array again. We do this again. Do this again. Copy. Paste, and that'll be part of the loop body. So we are taking the first one, and for the first one we're comparing it against the found value here. So find, just type in the map there. Oh, this can get messy. I can tell it already. Okay, so for each one, we compare it to all the list in the items here, and if this value is greater than, we want local current position as well, don't we? Okay. Current position, which should be an int, singular int, and that current position is 0. So we're currently finding position 0. So for the first item in here, we are doing the first one, finding their value. So I may repeat myself. The way I think about and solve these problems is saying it out loud to my head. So So we get the player scores and compare it against the first one. I need to make a better version of this at some point, but let's go ahead anyway. So we'll do... Yeah. So you want to compare these as well. So if this value that we're working with at the moment is greater than... No, sorry, less than this one. I don't know. I'm not too sure if this will work. Let's have a look. So we check if the current value we're checking is less than the top one. If it is less than, I'm going to increase the current position by 1. Okay. In fact, let's just increment it. Okay, so I increase the current position by 1. Then at the end, when it's completed, comparing them all, we'll get this sorted score list and set array element. And the index you want is a current position. And the item you want is going to come from this one here. So the logic behind this is it'll go through each key and compare it. If it is greater than it, yeah, because 0 is top. So if it is less than the other value, it'll drop down a current position. And the theory is the one with the highest value won't ever be less than anything. So therefore it'll stay at 0. The one with the second highest will be less than 1. So therefore it'll knock down 1 in the current position. And that will give you an output of an array here. Then when it's all done and dusted up over here on this first completed, we'll then print string this sorted score list as well. So if I do out of there print string, and in here we'll do actually we'll do another for each loop to print this out. So we get the sorted score list for each, and we'll print string the name of the sorted score list. You with me? Okay, so we get yeah, don't need that. So this will do when we push 4 on the keyboard. Okay, so the expected output of this, if I click on player scores here, I should see James output first. So it'll be flipped in the other order because obviously print lines come down, like get pushed to the bottom. So it'll be James at the bottom, then Oglucan, then iRover, and then Ryan. Okay, so from top to bottom, it'll be Ryan, iRover, Oglucan, James. If I get this working first try, I'm chuffed. No. Why not working? Not even print nothing. Push 4, do that. What's the score list? It should print string something. Let's make sure this is actually working. No errors or nothing. Okay, that works. So why that's not? Why are we getting? So this must be outputting blank stuff here. Why is that outputting blank? Sort of score list. So it's going through this. I'll tell you what, rather than do that, what we'll do is we'll do a return node out of this thing. Return node. And handle the print string outside of it just in case it's having a bit of weird time with it. So for each print string, no, nothing. How weird's that? Let's print string the length. This should print 4. It says print 0. So why are we getting 0? What's happening there? Go through the array, find the item, do. Any takers? Anyone can see this? Check your set. Check size. Fit the size. Yes. Well done. Right. That's it. So, just sort of score list. Blah 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 blah. And then, well, that should be 7. Oh, well, let's see what this outputs. Oh, I forgot to plug that in. Okay. Is that correct? So it should be from top to bottom. Ryan, Ovlovler, Okukan, and James. Well, they've got those spaces. No, that's not right at all. I'll say I would be very impressed if I did it first time. Oh, well, for testing purposes, you mean I can replace this with the integers? Yeah, it might make it a bit easier, wouldn't it? Set array element. Oh, put that in there. Index there. Item is this one. Yes. Yes. And size to fit. Oh wait, I probably didn't. Yeah, I know why. Yeah. Okay. Nope, not working at all. Right. See, to me, the logic on that makes sense. The current position change. So, for example, the first one that comes through here will be Oglucan. So, Oglucan, it will do 20. So, this will come out and this will be 20. Then it will go through the keys again. So, the first one it will check against itself, Oglucan. And if the value of that is less than 20, which it isn't because it's the same, it'll be false and come out of there. Then it'll do next one, iRover. If it's 15, which is less than that, which is true, the current position will change to 1. Then it will check against Ryan, which is 10, and all right, no, it's not less than that. It's greater than. So no. So it won't only change position 1 from this. So this will go, keep going. Current position will change to 1. Completed to come out. Set arrangement in the list to the index of current position to the item there. I don't get why we're getting 7 outputs. Why is my array index for each loop empty? What do you mean? It's not empty. We're not storing it. We're not using the array index because we're creating our own index via the current position. So we don't really need it. I don't get why it's doing 7 though. That's really weird. No, that's right. No such thing as stupid questions. What do you mean by a Gore system? Got silence. Right, let's walk through this. Why is it doing it 7 times? Right. Current position. See, that should never change. Oh, I know why. We need to just reset current position. So once we've done that, we then set current position back to 0. There we go. Right, let's do it again. 4. Right, there you go. 3. Works. So there you go, Oglunda. So I've got it now in. That is in ascending order because print string. It prints the first one out, then it knocks it down to the next one. But there you go, 25, 20, 15, and 10. Hey, how cool is that? Pretty much first time. I only forgot to do that set one once, and that was it. Let's recap that. So if you want to know how to do a sorting algorithm, fairly straightforward. It isn't that bad actually. For your games to do leaderboards, this is how you do it. So we create a function and we've got player scores. Player scores we're storing as names and values here. If you're doing a structure like Oglucan is doing, then you just need to break the structure when you come to get the scores out. As long as you get the scores out, that's what matters. So you do the keys. So you get all the keys, so that's all in players' names. Go for each player name. For each player name, you can compare it against every other player name. And if they are less than the previous other scores, then you increase this value called current position by 1. Once it's finished comparing itself to everyone else, it then sets an arrangement based on its current position. So its current position will change from 0 to, in this case, 3, because there's only 4 objects, and sort them into a list. And at the end, we'll reset current position back to 0. And it zips back to the start, and does the second item in the list, and does the same thing again, compares it against everyone else, and if it is smaller than it, it will increase current position. So, for example, here, our rover is less than 2 objects in here, so therefore that current position will happen twice, making it equal to 2. Okay? No, our rover is 0, 1, 2. Yeah, 2. Weird. So it put in the third position, okay? And so on and so forth. Now, one thing I will add to this is I want to make sure if you've got scores that are the same, you don't make it. You wouldn't want to do something extra here. So let's think about it. If it's the same as it, what would happen if it's the same? So let's hypothetically. So if let's say Oglucan had 15, okay. It will compare it against the first one and the second one, and they won't change the set current index. It will still be at position 0, and then it'll be down to position 2. But the problem is, iRover will also use that space as well. So when you get them the same, that's when we're getting tricky. How can we fix around that? Okay, so if they are less than, or increase it by 0, or less than, no, we do less than or equal to. Okay, hear me out. So we do less than or equal to, and that'll go there. But we don't want to do any of this if they equal the same key. If they got the same name, we don't want to compare them because that's the same dude. So rather than doing that, we'll do is not equals to this key. We'll put a branch in to make it carry on where it left off. So it only does the comparisons if it's a different key. It's getting a bit messy. I'll make this an actual function video. I'll make a tutorial on this because this is quite a good one to do. So, in fact, let's tidy that up a little bit. Bring that down there. So once it's done that, then at the end it'll output the list for you to do whatever you want with it. In our case, we're just printing it to the screen. So if we get to the same value, like this, okay, let's see what happens there. So now something's broken there, isn't it? 10, 0, 15, 25. Let's think about how that works. Okay, so the first one, it'll be the same. Okay, same name. So this will be, if it's not equal to, it'll go down to false and just ignore it. Next one will be iRover, and it is the same score as it, but different name. So carry on down here, true, compare the scores, and it is less than or equal to. It is equal to. Therefore, its current position will be ++. I can see where it's going wrong. It's the same as it. And I'm assuming, that your game, it is possible for players to have the same score, I would imagine. Not many games don't do that. Okay, let's run through this. So, player 1 goes through. We then compare it against all the other players, including itself. If it is not equal to itself, so the first time it goes through, this won't happen. Second time this goes through, it will happen because player score is now onto iRover. So iRover would come down here, compare the scores. 15, 15, they are equal to it. Therefore, current position will equal 1 now. Put it into the second position. I guess what you'd want to do, it's annoying, isn't it? Because you want it to share slot essentially. But you don't want it to move the competition if the competition's already been moved for the previous time. Ah, dear me. You may be better off then in this case, rather than storing it as an array, doing it as a map. No. You can't sort it as a map because you can't sort it as a map. Matek, he was googling some stuff now. There's a funky node called max of int array. You could save the ints from the struct and then find the highest one with that. It gives you the index in array. Interesting idea. But then how would you match that to the array? Yeah, and also if they're the same score. It's the same score thing that's causing the problem because you don't want it to move them up or down the ladder unless there's already one with the same score in it. Um, okay, I've got an idea. So my idea is on this completed, when we set the array element, before we set the array element, we first will get the value and see what it is, and then we adjust the index based on that. So get a sorted score list. We'll get a copy, and the index we want to check is the current position, and if that is equal to, like as in the same value as this. Oh, it's getting messy. Hang on. Okay, so if it's the same value as this, we're going to a branch, move that along a bit. If it's true, then I want to budge the current position up. Yeah? Makes sense, I think, in my head. So then we do plus plus. And if that's true, then we'll go around and do this again. So it'll keep doing this until it's not equal to it. So we'll just do that, loop back around again to there. Bit messy, but we get the gist. So it'll keep increasing the current position if the current position slot is already filled up with one that is got the same value. If it hasn't got the same value, then we'll set it. God, look at all these lines. This is terrible. Do that. That'll do. I think that makes sense. So we've got this player score list here. We've got two values the same, Ryan and then James. So it should be printed at the bottom then from bottom top. James, Oglecan, Irovler, Ryan, or either of them Octocam will be interchangeable. No, still getting that 0. Where's that 0 coming from? Oh, in my head that made sense. Let's rethink this thinking. So it's the same name, same. So hang on. If it's equal to it. All right. So rather than doing equal to, let's just do less than like we had before. So if it's less than, okay, then it checks the array for a position, get a value, blah 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 blah. We should see if that array actually is. Got something there. Hang on, let me put at start here. Let's just resize that array. So resize this array. By the number of keys we got in here. Length. We no longer need this size to fit either. Let's see if that does something. There you go. Okay. Done. So the thing I added on was this bit at the end here. We got the current position, and we are. So this was back to less than. Okay, not equal to, just less than. So if it is less than it, will just keep the current position. So if the current position, it will look at the current array. If the current position of that already has a value in it, it's going to compare it to the value you want to add. If they're the same, it will tell the current position to move it up one, and it'll keep doing that until it gets a slot that is unique to it. Score. And then it will carry on going off to set array element and then set current position. Phew! We've done it. Ta-da! Is that alright for you, Octocam? Does it help? I will also make a video of how to do that in its own separate video at some point. That'd be quite a good one to have for people. Okay, what other questions we got going on here? We're about to wrap up any moment, so I'm going to try and do some quick fire ones. You're welcome, Octocam. Clover Stang, thanks to the channel like this, I can learn more. You're welcome, man. Keep it up. We all had to start somewhere. Nicholas Street, have you done anything within a random level generator tutorial? Not in a tutorial, no. And no, I haven't yet. There's loads of ways of doing level generation. The one I've experimented with most is called the Drunken Path generation, which is where it's a subtractive generation where you generate the world and then you send some like basically like a probe down and it carves out levels. That's how like Minecraft does its caves and stuff like that. Uses like Drunken Path thing. So I have done it before, but I don't think I've done a video on it. Vince Carter, how can you stop the camera from shaking when your character bumps into small physics objects? So when you're bumping into small physics objects, what is happening is that your capsule component is colliding with them and like sort of like tripping basically over them. What I would suggest you do for small physics objects that you don't want to be affected by the player walking into them, you can change their physics settings on the collision on the pawn to overlap or ignore, and therefore the player will be able to walk straight over them. Otherwise, it's not the camera shaking; it's that it's like the capsule's like tripping over it and just wobbling. Silence. Like an example, when you shoot a zombie, his arm falls off, and then blood comes out of stuff. It sounds cool and interesting. I'll have to figure out how to do it. But yes, we could experiment one day with that. Native Black, how would you go about creating a battle encounter like Pokemon or any JRPG? It's long-winded to explain. But you're using your game mode a lot to keep track of what's what. I don't have enough time to go through the whole thing. I will eventually go to do a JRPG at some point. It'll probably be sometime next year now, honestly. Brett, quick one before you go. How do I stop a mesh from rotating with camera? How to stop mesh rotating with camera? Do you mean what mesh do you mean? You want your aim offset to look without your character rotating. It shouldn't rotate if you're doing aim offsets. Just make sure you've set up your aim offset correctly. You should be just recording head movements like down like that. I'm not too sure what you mean. Okay. Mohammed, you have an endless running game for Android and you want to add a simple select character like Subway and a shop system. Can you help me on anything like that? So you have to, it's all in widgets and they're basically buttons, and you're going to different levels and different environments, things like that. When you click on a button, you're using different open level commands to open up different levels. So that is this command. Okay, and you just type in whatever name level you want to go to. So you have your various buttons up, and each button will have associated level name that they'll take you to when you click on them. You click on that, and off you go. Yeah, watch my video again, but I should hopefully solve issues. James Jocelyn, final question for me. When I want a destructible object to respawn, I set a timer on an event which triggers when the object fractures, resets the components. Are these timers expensive? Not really, no. Yeah, you're alright. Chappers Gaming, hey Ryan, thanks for creating these videos and look forward to the game jam. Good, welcome. I'm looking forward to it too. It's going to be good fun. Clover Strung, I would like to recreate local places near me. Is there an easy way to do that, or just months of time, photos, and experience? Yep, just lots of time, experience, photos. Yeah, sadly, yes, no quick, easy way of doing it. However, you can. There's a way to get height map data from Google Maps. So if you want to do some landscape that looks like your local landscape, if that data is available on Google Maps or some other open map software, you can actually download the height map data and then use that in your landscape generation to generate a land that looks like yours. But it is just a landscape, no buildings, nothing like that. Okay, that brings us to the end of this week's question time. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. We did some bubble sorting stuff. No, it wasn't bubble sorting, but just sorting, leaderboard sorting, and we did. What did we do at the start? We did acceleration, deceleration. Oh, hurry! All cool stuff, all good fun stuff. So, thank you again, everyone, for joining me. Last question, Brett. What kind of music do you listen to? I listen to a lot of music, different types of music, but my favourite one is various types of rock. My favourite band is Linkin Park, but I like a bit of Linkin Park, Rise Against, so on and so forth. Yeah, but I like quite a lot of other weird stuff as well. There's some hip hop, some rap, yeah, electronic, yeah, loads. But mostly rock. Okay, cheers everyone. Thanks you for joining me tonight. This archive will be available to patrons immediately after the show. So thank you to all my patrons for their continued support. None of this would be possible without you guys, so thank you again so much. Videos coming out, so patrons will still be getting FPS RPG series every single week. So if you want to watch and learn the FPS RPG series, you can find that only on Patreon for the time being. It will not be released on YouTube until the series is complete on Patreon, which may take a long time. So if you want to get ahead on that, head over to Patreon right now and catch that. You've got more building videos, how to do more building and crafting stuff. More online videos coming as well. We'll do online UI stuff and things like that. What else? More Niagara stuff. We'll do some more Niagaras and so forth. Everyone else, I think you'll start getting more. You'll get more melee AI, more online, and more of the crafting system. Oh, pardon me. So tired. Anyway, that's it. That's all from me. Yeah, I'm going to bed. Good night, everyone. Take care. Matek, yes, Discord server. Check out my website. You'll find link to Discord on there in the blog. Check it out. It is there. So come check out my Discord. Thank you, everyone, and I'll see you this weekend for live stream. Sorry it didn't happen this week. My son was ill. He's better now. So this weekend we'll be doing a live stream again, and I'm thinking we'll be playing some Star Wars Squadrons. So check that out. We'll talk about how some bits of it are made and try recreate it the week after. So thank you everyone for joining us. Have a good night, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.